Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to talk about the end is where you begin. So there are a couple defining things to manifest anything that you want in this world. A couple of criteria that you must follow in order to guarantee every time, time after time, that you get whatever it is that you want. And it is defining what you want, imagining the end, and dropping it. And today we're going to talk about imagining the end. And I want to talk about why to imagine the end, and I want to talk about how, and I want to talk about the type of mindset that you should carry on a day-to-day basis. So, first of all, I describe this in a lot of videos, but the end is where we begin. Because when we impress upon the subconscious mind, which is the criteria that that's what we need to do in order to manifest what we want, right? All manifestation comes from impressing the subconscious mind. When we imagine the end, all things that need to happen in order for that end to take place will happen, and there's nothing that you need to do about it. If you imagine the middle, it will manifest up until the middle. If you imagine the beginning, it will manifest up into the beginning. If you think of the obstacles in the way, you will plant different seeds, and those different obstacles will manifest, but none of them have to do with the end result. So it's crucial, and if you didn't know anything else about manifesting, you would need to know two things. The first thing is that you must impress the subconscious mind, and the second thing is that you must imagine the end in first-person point of view. So talking about defining the end, as I mentioned in a previous video, it's like defining a structure. The structure is a scene. It's a blueprint that you only have to define the end result, and the rest of the schema or the schematic will appear on its own to get you there. You never need to worry about anything about how to get there. You don't need to worry about what it takes, what's in the way. None of that matters. All you have to know is how to impress the subconscious mind and what to impress the subconscious mind with. And so you look at the end. If you imagine the end, it's like watching a movie, but you don't watch the movie, you only watch the very last scene. So you watch what happens at the very end, okay? You've seen the end, you know how it ends up, and then the credits roll. So the question then comes, what happens in the middle, and how do you react when the movie progresses? So if you have seen the end, it's definitely possible to get caught up in the plot. But the problem with getting caught up in the plot is that every time you react emotionally to the plot, you plant a seed just like the thing that you've reacted to. And if you plant a seed, it's going to happen again. But if you've seen the end, there's no reason to react. Now, most of our lives, before we had known how to manifest, we went through our lives reactive. We react to everything. We couldn't trust what was going to happen. We had no idea. Life hooked us in the face at any given moment, and then other times we would succeed. We wouldn't know what was going to happen. But with this critical aspect to life, manifesting, we actually know what's going to happen. And the longer we manifest for, the more trust and faith we have in the process. But until you get to that point, I just want to tell you the truth is that the end is where you begin. You always define the end. It's like watching the end of the movie. And now it's up to you. Do you watch the movie and doubt that it's going to happen, that you're going to experience the end result? Or are you watching this movie with kind of looking at it as the director? You've written the end. Now you're just watching this thing play out. So non-reactiveness happens with trust, right? Trust that you've planted the seed properly. So definitely practice and watch my videos on knowing that you've planted the seed properly. But another way to look at manifesting and the end is like a chess game. Now, the chess game, it's like seeing the end of a chess game, okay? You've seen who wins. You won. You know exactly how you won. You know the last move that you made in order to win. But now it's time for the game to play out. It's time for the entire game to play out up until that point. Now, a chess game could take a long time, or it could be very quick. I think you can beat someone in chess in like 4 moves or something like that. So the question is what needs to take place on the chessboard? What is this opponent going to? What move are they going to take? What move are you going to take? What move? On and on and on. You don't really know what's going to happen, but in the end, you already know you've won. So that's one way. That's how I always look at my manifestations. So, for instance, one of my imaginal acts is to imagine, I've imagined that I have 100,000 subscribers. Now, here's the thing. It could be that a video goes viral and that within a week I have my 100,000 subscribers. Or it could be the regular way, the progressive way. There could be ups and downs in the middle, which I've experienced. Sometimes there's more and sometimes there's less. But I've already seen the end. I've imagined it in full. I've imagined it multiple times. And I know for a fact that when I imagine the end, because I've been doing this for over 8 years, no matter what it takes, no matter how it happens, and no matter how long it takes, the end will always manifest if I imagine it properly. So the instructions: define exactly what you want. You have a desire. Now, what's the end? Is it a specific person? Is it money? Is it a vacation? Is it fortune? Is it fame? All of these things are possible. All things are possible. So you define what it is that you want. Now, what you do after that is you create a scene, right? The scene must follow these criteria. 1, it must be in the end. So if it was a specific person, then it's not the day of marriage. It's not before you're married. It's not the proposal. It is literally after the ring is on the finger and it's a done deal. Okay? If it's money, it's not having a check in your hand. It's not shaking someone's hand for a deal to go through. It's not having someone sign the papers to close the deal on selling the house. It's not seeing the lottery tickets come up on the TV one after the other and matching it to yours. That's not the end. The end isn't even telling someone that you won. It's actually having won already. It's saying, yes, I won the lottery last year and I have the money in my account and I'm getting an annuity or whatever the heck it's called. So you define the end after the end. So you take the end, then you add some time to it, okay? You add some time to it, and then you define in all detail that you can. And you can do this with multiple scenes after the end. If you have one desire, you can create multiple scenes in the end, after the end, as long as they all are after the end. And it's all the same ending. So you take that scene, you add as much vividness as possible, or multiple scenes, and you add different, all the criteria of reality, right? What would you see? Taste, touch, hear, feel. Who would you be with? What would you be saying? Okay, sometimes you don't even have to be in the scene where you're looking at your bank account with the money in it. Sometimes you don't have to be looking at your hand with the wedding ring on it. Other ends that I've used very successfully is journaling from the future. Imagining that I'm writing down my journal entry about how I'm grateful that I won that money in the past, that I made that money in the past, that I got that 100,000 subscribers in the past. That is after the end. That would only take place if and only if the desire had been fulfilled. Another thing is having a conversation with someone, right? Where two agree in testimony, it's conclusive, right? That's what it says in the Bible. I've proven that also to be true thousands of times. But it's not talking about in physical reality. It's not talking about speaking. It's talking about in the mind. So if you define a structure where you're talking with another person about how the desire had been fulfilled already, yes, I've hit 100,000, and them saying, congratulations, you've hit 100,000 subscribers. Specificity can, with words, is so powerful. It's so powerful. So use specificity wherever possible. And in fact, I would create different scenes after the end, maybe one journal entry, one conversation, one being in the scene where I'm looking at the screen having 100,000, or one where you're looking at the wedding band. All these things imply that the desire had already been filled, and there's no question that it has happened, because in this scene, you are defining it as if you've already received it. And when you do that, you plant a seed, and that seed is a pattern. When you feel it, when you enter into that structure, as I've described in a previous video, the seed comes to life. It grows. The pattern erupts, and no matter what it takes, all facts will dissolve. All facts will dissolve that exist now. If there's anything in the way between you and your end, it doesn't matter. It will vanish. Never worry. Never be concerned about the means. I promise you that it will, all of those will be removed. Just don't react to it. Watch it as if you've already seen the end result in the movie. And no matter what's taking place, right now, you don't know when it's going to happen. So don't be overly excited that every single thing that happens is the end, because that will cause letdowns and negative seeds to be planted. And then you'll experience them over and over until you stop reacting. But this is how to get what you want. The end is where you begin. So anyway, I hope you like this. If you did, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon, go to the website sovereignmind.com and register for my email list, or click the link below, and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching.